Thanks for joining us again on GBGuns. We're back from the range. This time we took the Lionheart Regulus, that's two Reguluses, out because Burgundy.Bomber hadn't spent a whole lot of time with them, and we wanted to get her opinion on it. Also wanted to sort of give an update on the two. In fact, before I get this gun apart, let me get that back together. Because one of the things that is neat about these is the option between the alpha and the beta frame, and that changes a lot of things. It changes your length of pull, that's the reach from here to the trigger. Also, whether or not you have the raised backstrap or flat backstrap, and a little bit of the size, a little bit of the weight. And we each had our favorite with these, which I thought was interesting. And we'll also cover hand fit, showing you from Burgundy.Bomber, Matty AR, and myself, how each of these guns works for our particular hand size as far as control reach and all that. Man, I love that E-Series Cerakote. Stuff just wipes right off of it. Same thing with these coatings that they have on the barrels. It's so easy to clean. Anyways, I'm going to roll in the footage. You'll see us each shoot some groups. You'll probably have some laughs, and you'll also see the hand fit comparison in this video.
So today we're out having fun with the Lionheart Regulus, or Reguli for two. We have the alpha and the beta. We'll be shooting alpha at the left column and the beta at the right. All right, so starting off with the alpha, 5 shots from 7 yards. I'm gonna start my first round off with the double action plus. All right, so 5 shots from 7 yards with the Lionheart Beta on the right column. And again, I'm going to go ahead and start off my first round with the double action plus.
All right, so I'm going to be starting with the alpha with shots on the left. Yeah. All right. In double action plus.
The alpha, double action plus, left target. Beta, double action plus, right target. So we mentioned hand fit, and one of the things that's unique about these Reguli, if you will, is the option between the alpha and beta frame to see what fits your hand better. For some hand shapes,
having that extra hump on the back strap is better. For others, it's not. What it does impact is where your trigger finger rests on the trigger for some hand shapes. We've got Burgundy.Bomber here demonstrating how her trigger finger rests naturally on this trigger. And if we flip over to the other side, we can see just how much pad is making contact. Remove your left hand. So that's about middle finger without her having to contort at all. Now holding the Beta with the flat back strap in slightly smaller frame size, we can see what trigger reach looks like. Go ahead, finger to trigger. If we look straight down from the top, we see this gap here that she's having to create because this is a slightly shorter length of pull overall. Her hand's tighter up on the gun, which means that's something you have to be cognizant of if you wanted to shoot this and maintain that center pad to trigger contact. Now here, Maddie AR has the Alpha in hand, and you can see it fills her hand quite a bit. In fact, looking around the backside here, you can see that her knuckle isn't quite reaching that comfortable spot. Normally the hand would be rotated a little more like that to clear this back end, but that also shortens her reach. So looking at how her trigger finger rests on the trigger, coming to the vertical, you can see a little bit of gap. So she's got just the beginning of the pad there by creating some gap. She can get center pad with flush, but is that a reach for you?
It just doesn't feel as comfortable to me. I'm thrown off by the hump back here. It takes some positioning in order for it to feel comfortable.
So in contrast, here she is holding the Beta, and
like a glove.
You can see that she doesn't have that same knuckle struggle in getting her hand reaching around the side there. And trigger reach, right to the center of the pad without a whole lot of contortion, not having to extend extra reach and not having to bow out a knuckle. So here's the Beta in my hands, and you can see my thumb is almost to the trigger on this side. Do reach that index point, but the very end of it, knuckle wraps well, but if I just relax my trigger finger onto the trigger, you can see that I'm way overextended. So for me to have to shoot this accurately with that center pad on the middle of the trigger, I've got to contort my knuckle out quite a bit, and that's something that requires cognizance and wouldn't make for ideal instinctive shooting, if you would. Now with the Alpha in hand, you can see that my finger hits the center of that reference point on the frame. Thumb is about in the same spot. I can still reach all the controls, but most important for me is natural trigger reach puts me right center pad without contorting my knuckle out too far or reaching too far in, and that's part of what makes the Alpha a better fit for me.
All right, so my initial thoughts on the Alpha compared to the Beta. The Beta is shorter, it's lighter, it's got a shorter barrel length, a flatter back strap. You can see that the Alpha has a nice curvature. This one's quite flat. It holds completely different in the hands. As far as the sights on the Alpha, we have the fiber optic front sight, and then on the Beta we have just the white dot with the black notch. I prefer fiber optic. I can acquire my sights a little bit better, but the sights were clear. Great on this. Overall, I definitely like the Alpha a little bit better. I feel like I had better accuracy and control over the gun compared to the Beta. A lot snappier because it is a lot lighter. So overall, I absolutely love Lionheart Regulus in general. I would probably prefer the Alpha over the Beta.
Lionheart Industry, Regulus Alpha and Beta. I've had the privilege of shooting these two pistols several times. I love them each and every time, but I love the Beta just a little bit more. I have better accuracy with it. It feels better in my hand. It doesn't have this nice curve to it, but it's a lighter gun. I just like the sights on it a little bit better. I like all the feel of it. I just love this gun.
So between the Alpha and the Alpha fits my hand a whole lot better, just because it's got larger hands. So having that hump on the back strap gives something to fill my hand and a little bit more finger length. I also prefer the longer barrels. You might have noticed I hit low. That happened to me the last time we reviewed these. In fact, I was just questioned what the heck I was aiming at because I was not hitting where I normally would. Fortunately, these are adjustable sights. So if one of these was to become my primary, I would just crank on that. I think what happened to me, certainly with the fiber optic, is I tend to have my eye drawn to the fiber optic dot instead of the top edge of the sight. And the way I normally shoot is by aligning the top edge with the top edge back here. And with using the dot, I was kind of pointing downward a little bit. Great excuse for the Alpha, does not explain why I shot off with the Beta. Sorry. But very smooth shooters, both of them. The Alpha just fits my hand a little better, and I do love one feature that's on both of the frames is this indentation here as a reference point. On the right side, use that for finger straight resting. For my support hand, my thumb fits there perfectly. So it makes for a very controllable, easy to hold, easy to replicate grip time after time grabbing these guns.
So I hope what you've seen has helped you understand a little more of the differences between the Alpha and Beta, and where the benefits can be. Of course, I had that rather embarrassing low shot group. Not sure why, not the guns. It just, you know, sometimes it happens. We all have our off-range days, and we don't reshoot groups on GBGuns. So what you see is what happened. But for me, the Alpha is a plain and easy choice. Burgundy.Bomber likes it as well, and Matty AR prefers the Beta. We'll have some more information on these coming up in the future. Of course, we already have several videos covering the Lionhearts and explaining what's different about them and why you may want to pick one up for yourself. They are not cheap, but they are well done. This sight got knocked a little loose. This is a very, very early slide before they had the dovetail quite set up. Might need to just try a different front sight post there than that one. But incredible, incredible guns. Go check out our other videos on them, and more on Lionheart coming in the future. Thanks for watching.